Well, my first book's called How Can We Equip Our Children to Succeed? It's about how we can empower, enable and equip our children to thrive, learn, achieve and be all they can be. The focus of the book is about developing the attitudes, thinking and behaviour that successful people share, whether that's in business, sport, technology, science, the arts, anything. They share some common characteristics. Leaders and elite performers in any field share some common qualities, and that's what I've brought together and looked how we can develop those qualities in our children and young people. It's also about being successful in life generally, getting on well with people, having good relationships, contributing to society. The book highlights our role as parents and carers to empower, enable and equip our children to realise their amazing potential and succeed in whatever they choose to pursue. The book is based on my research over the years into successful people. People who've succeeded in all sorts of fields. What are their common characteristics? What can we synthesise from that, and what can we do to enable our children to develop those characteristics? Over the years I've worked with thousands of young people in schools, as well as obviously my own children, and tried to find what really does work in encouraging and enabling them to aim high and develop those core capabilities to succeed and achieve what they want to do. It goes without saying that the pace of change is phenomenal. We don't know what our children are going to be doing in the next few years. There are going to be challenges, there are going to be lots of opportunities, and we need to do our best as parents to make sure they're equipped to make the most of opportunities and deal with the challenges that they're going to face. I wanted to make it very real for people and use concrete examples from my experience over the past 25 years of raising my own children. My children have actually been amazing and really encouraged me to do this, and have given me permission to use all sorts of examples from our experiences, even the ones that are more challenging and difficult and sensitive. Now, people who know me well know that that's not a question to ask really, because the answer could be very, very long. But in a nutshell, I really feel that we equip young people with knowledge and skills, but we're not really equipping them with the attitudes, thinking and behaviour to succeed. I see wasted ability and talent in young people everywhere, from all sorts of backgrounds. And what we really need to do is equip our young people to take responsibility for their own future, develop the attitudes, thinking and behaviour to succeed in learning, in life, in work, in whatever they choose to pursue. Raising aspirations, broadening horizons and enabling young people to achieve their potential is my passion. I haven't found anything out there that has a really holistic approach in terms of developing our young people. Looking at the needs of young people as whole people in whole communities and equipping them to succeed in learning and life. I think we have a duty as adults to enable and equip our children to take control of their lives, to set goals and achieve them. I like the phrase self-determination, and I've seen it as a really important role as a parent to enable my children to determine their own positive future. The style of the book is a mix of information and why it's important to develop the attitudes, thinking and behaviour described, and personal experience. There are lots of quotes and links to interviews and video clips with people that have succeeded in all sorts of ways. There are also a lot of very practical, tried and tested tools and techniques for parents and carers to try. Firstly, I'd like parents to see this book as something that helps them to reflect on their parenting. Something that helps them prioritise what's really important and what can they let go. We're all busy. I've raised 2 children whilst being a single parent and the sole earner for most of that time. I also started a business when my children were 12 and 8 and know what it's like to be stretched in every direction. I also know what it's like to get things wrong, and this definitely isn't a study in being the perfect parent. What I have been able to do is use my work to inform my parenting and my parenting to inform my work. Having said that, I must say my work's never been just work. It's always been a passion to do with young people, so one has informed the other. I want to give parents a little bit of food for thought as to why certain things are important, some underpinning knowledge, and some tools and techniques. I'd like it to be affirming, reassuring parents that we can't be all things to all people, and giving them the confidence to focus on what's really important. For example, I've not been the mum who's been there all the time. I've often left for work before my children have gone to school and got home only just in time to scoop them up to take them to some activity or sports training. But interestingly, when I asked my son George, what do you think I've been like as a parent? The first thing he said was, "You've always been there." And there was a pause, and I was thinking, well, actually, I haven't, and most people wouldn't say I'd always been there. And then he said, when it's important. For him, sport has been the most important thing in life from a very young age. And until he could drive, I took him to over 90% of training, matches, trials, and everything to do with his sport. The fact I've done everything I can to enable him to pursue his passion for sport, his perception is that I've always been there. I'd also like to think this book would help people as individuals as well as in their role as parents. Certainly people who've read it have said they've got something out of it for themselves. Let's face it, positive thinking is positive thinking, no matter what age you are. And the bottom line is, if you're going to succeed in this as a parent, you have to model the behaviour you're trying to develop in your children. I truly hope that what I share in this book helps parents and carers trying to do their best to enable young people to achieve their potential. I want to see all young people dreaming, setting goals and achieving. I know that sounds idealistic. I've often been accused of being too idealistic, but I firmly believe that unless you hang on to your ideals and keep those in mind at all times, you don't get anywhere along the road to achieving them. I'd like to think my work's helped contribute to improving many young people's outlook on what they can achieve and develop those core capabilities to enable them to achieve. I hope my book, How Can We Equip Our Children to Succeed, helps parents support their children to be the best they can be in every way.